All right, welcome everybody to DC Sports Plus episode 2.
Yeah, baby.
So we're back again. We're going to go ahead and give you some information that we've looked up on some potential free agents for the Washington Commanders.
Gotta have free agents, man.
Got to have free agents. You got to do a little bit of something. We know we need some positions filled.
Yeah.
We both went over it. We decided what two. We only picked two
Yeah.
positions, and as fate would have it, we actually picked 4 total positions, 2 each.
Yes, it worked out beautifully.
So how that happened, I have no clue, but
All
it's
areas
good.
of need.
Yes, definitely so. So I think we got that covered for you. And then at the end, we'll get into a little bonus section for you after we go through the free agents. So I'm going to turn it over to my partner, D, and he's going to educate you a little bit.
All right, man, I'm going to break this down here. Look, all of us Commander fans, we saw the games this year. We saw how the offensive line looked. Bottom line is
Poo.
Bottom line is this. Love Charles Leno, respect Charles Leno. We've seen a drop in his play. Bottom line is that he was getting beat way more than he should have. Play dropped. I'll get into what it would be, what the ramifications are if we let him go. But first things first, let's upgrade left tackle. It
like
just so happens that Tampa Bay Buccaneers had a quarterback to retire not too long ago. And it looks like Tampa Bay's cleaning house and trying to rebuild. Their left tackle, Donovan Smith, has been released. Donovan Smith, 29 years old, will be 30 at the start of the next season. Can't say enough about this young man. Second-round draft pick out of Penn State in 2015. Plays out of his 8 seasons, 6 of them, he played a complete season. You always hear general managers say all the time, the biggest trait by players, their availability. This guy is available.
Yes.
My brother.
Yes.
This guy is available. He is a top-tier left tackle. In fact, in 2021, PFF, a well-respected site, had him ranked 84.7 in pass grade block. That was good enough to be ranked number 2 in the league, ladies and gentlemen. Number 2 in the league. Yeah. That's not too shabby.
No, only 1 year ago. We don't have the stats for this year.
Yeah, don't have the stats this year
yet. But 1 year ago.
1 year ago.
This dude was rated second in the league.
That speaks volumes, in my opinion. Speaks volumes.
Pay the man.
Pay the man. Let's pay this man.
Okay.
Let's pay this man. I mean, the bottom line is that left tackle is a premium position. The left tackle we have right now was a bargain basement deal we got a couple of years ago. His play has obviously dropped. All you got to do is watch the football games. You see what's happening off the edges. Got to upgrade left tackle. Arguably, not even arguably, it's a top 3 position in the league. This gentleman is available. Tampa Bay's rebuilding. They released him. Let's go get this guy. Bottom line is that he's available. He was ranked number 2 years ago in pass grade block. Let's go get this guy. Did some numbers here. Just kind of looking at what some of the upper echelon left tackles have signed for over the last couple of years. And if you look up some of the numbers here, and I'm getting that right now here, we have on here, looking over a couple. I'm just going to throw some names out.
Okay, give him the site you're looking at.
All right, I'm at Sport Track.
Okay.
Sport Track, very well reputable site, breaks down the players' contracts, total guaranteed, fully guaranteed, whether they're going to be a free agent again, their ages, average per year. Okay, I'm going to spit out some names too. These are just some of the names of some of the top tier tackles that have signed over the last few years. Trent Williams, 49ers, David Bakhtiari, Packers, Laramie Tunsil, Texans, Ronnie Staley, Ravens. I'm just throwing out a few names here. When I go over the top 5 to 7 names as far as contracts go, the total values range between 60 to 90 million, okay? Their average year, if you go through the top 5 to 7, anywhere from 18 to 23 million per year for the upper echelon tackles. Okay. Let's go to kind of total guaranteed. All right, total guaranteed ranges anywhere from 42 to 70 million, okay, depending on whatever type of contract that respective organization wanted to sign. But bottom line is that's the range. So based on these numbers, what I'm looking at right now, actual top 5 to 7 left tackles in the market value, the age of Donovan Smith, a reasonable deal in my opinion. I could see a 4-year deal averaging 19.5 per year. Let's guarantee him $50 million. I think if you look at what these other left tackles have signed for the last 12 to 24 months, and you look at his pedigree, the way he played, I think 19.5 per is reasonable. I think guaranteeing him $50 million based on the average of the total guarantee of the last 5 to 7 left tackles, I think that's right in that wheelhouse. And look, Some people are going to say that's a lot of money. Of course it's a lot of money. This is a premium position, ladies and gentlemen. This is left tackle. Got to protect the blind side of your quarterback, especially a young quarterback such as Sam Howell.
Right.
So that's what I think. These are numbers we have, and let's go get them. Let's upgrade that left tackle position.
Okay, now what are we doing? I know what you're going to say, but what are we doing with Charles Leno?
Okay, glad you said that. Okay, bottom line is this. Charles Leno has given us 3 solid years. Like I said, play dip this year, looked over his contract. If we were to go ahead and release him, okay, it frees up $12.5 million with about $4.5 dead cap. So again, you're looking at freeing up $8 million in dead cap space to upgrade the position. To me, the juice is worth the squeeze. The juice is worth the squeeze. You are getting rid of a tackle, premium position, whose play has dropped. You are getting an upgraded tackle, who's younger, by the way. 2 years younger.
Yeah.
That needs to be noted.
Yeah, true.
2 years younger, plays at a higher level, at a premium position.
Okay.
I think I've made my case here.
I like it.
I've made my case. What do you think?
I like it.
You
I
like
mean,
it? Okay.
obviously, what we got with Leno is what you can get.
Is
what you can expect. We
get.
always say sometimes you pay for what you get.
Yep.
Okay. So Charles Leno, we got lucky enough before the 2020 season, I believe it was.
2020, the Bears let him go.
The Bears cut him.
Yep.
Right before training camp. Mm-hmm. He came available. Kudos to Ron Rivera for signing him.
Yep.
I can't even think. I think we talked about it. I think we were looking at Jerron Christian.
Yeah.
As the left tackle.
Oh, poo that.
So so that would have been a travesty there. So good on him for getting Leno in there. He's done 3 years with us. Admirably, just too many big plays given up. If you look at the scoring type of plays that he's given up, he gave up at least 3.
Yeah.
2 to the Giants.
Yep.
Kayvon Thibodeau, which he had how many sacks for the year? About
4 sacks and 2 were against us.
Yeah. So I mean, not like a world beater.
Too good, is it?
Not too great.
No.
Not a world beater, but he certainly had Leno's number.
Yep.
And then a journeyman with the Lions.
Second game of the season.
Second game of the season, Harris, I believe.
Gave up a safety.
Yep.
So
again, nothing bad to say about Leno.
No.
This is a business and business move only. I like it, upgrading the left tackle position. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. We said we needed to address line hot and heavy, and I love it. That's the first one you're going to make. Yep. I got no complaints with that.
Love it.
As fate would have it, I had the offensive line.
Nice.
Mine. I just went a different position.
Let me hear where you're going with, brother.
All right. I love the right guard from the Ravens, Ben Powers.
How can you not love him?
He's a beast.
Yes.
The dude is 6'4", 338 pounds, out of Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. Just a nasty disposition with him.
Oh, yeah.
He's a mauler. He's not, twinkle toes somewhere light on his feet per se.
Yep.
But he can get to the outside. But that's not what we need him for. We need him for that inside presence, and we need him for that pass blocking. Because his pass blocking is especially good because he's powerful.
Yep. And
he's going to anchor better than what we saw from Trey Turner last year.
You mean not getting pushed back into the quarterback?
Not getting pushed back into the quarterback, where the quarterback is chewing on the back of Trey Turner's jersey.
There you go.
So,
putting it lightly.
So he was, like I say, he's a 4th-round pick out of Oklahoma, 26 years old.
Prime age.
I think he comes in. We're not trying to get old.
Nope.
We're trying to get guys that can fit the mold and grow with the team and get better. This guy could come right in, solidify the right guard position. I know what they're saying, that, maybe they want to move Sam Cosmi in the guard. I hate it.
Projections are always tricky.
Yeah,
Projections are tricky.
I don't like it. The man played tackle his career. Sam Cosmi has been a tackle at Texas. Yeah. He's been a tackle other than I don't even know how the hell they were using him last year. They were like in one series, out another series.
Very confusing. Never seen it before in my life. That's another story for another day. I don't even understand it.
I mean, they don't know what they have in him.
Nah.
You know what you have with Ben Powers.
Oh, yeah. It's clean cut.
You have a starting caliber right guard.
Yep.
And
top tier level.
Exactly. And what I have, you look at comps for him for what a contract might be. Last year, we all know what happened with Brandon Sheriff.
Yep.
2 franchise tags back to back.
Yep.
Wanted to be the highest guard ever.
Yep.
We were going to make him that, but evidently the numbers didn't match to what he wanted.
Yep.
So he ends up signing what basically turns out to be a 3-year, $49.5 million contract with $30 million fully guaranteed. And I think that's the number that probably It hasn't been released, but I think that's the number that got it.
Okay.
I don't think it was the total average value because he's still number one at 16.5 per year. But I think we weren't willing to go up to $30 million for him, and that's why he ended up leaving. So I'm using him as kind of the comp as the high. He is number one as far as guards go. So what I'm looking at as far as for him to come in here, I'm looking at a 4-year actual contract. But the way the NFL is doing things now, they have these voidable years.
Voidable years.
If you don't know what it is, you can go to, I'm using overthecap.com.
Yep.
They have a nice breakdown of it. And most of them, it'll say voidable years. That means they're extending and prorating the signing bonus over 6 years instead of 4.
Yep.
So if I say I want Powers on a 4-year deal, it means it's looking at a 6-year deal to me, 4 years actually. I'm looking at $44 million with half of that guaranteed at $22 million.
I like it.
So you
for
get
a top tier guard.
For a top tier guard,
That's the
I think
market.
he's about the best coming out. You're still, average value. You're still technically only paying, about $11 million a year, and he gets the $22 million guaranteed. So he comes right in. He's immediate upgrade at right guard. He's there for at least 4 years till he's 30, and then you can address the position after that. That takes care of right guard. Not going to get into left guard right now because we all know what Norwell looked like, and people want to give the point guard.
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul. They want to give the point guard Chris Paul a chance. That's all fine and good.
Yeah.
Let him go ahead and get some depth. But I'm all for giving this man an opportunity to come in here and upgrade that line.
And needless to say, bump Trey Turner to the backup role, which he should have had last year.
I don't even know if he's under contract, quite honestly. I haven't even cared enough to look at him.
Yeah.
All I want to know is that he's not on the team anymore,
Right.
or
enough.
he's at least not on the starting lineup.
Yes.
At right guard.
I agree with that completely. You got it, brother. You got it. All right. Well, we went ahead and segmented into that. We're going to go ahead and move over to another position of need that the Washington Commanders need. Breaking it down, let's see. If you look back at the games this past year, obviously offensive line was an issue. Overall, defense did really well, but that secondary is awfully thin. I don't think anybody would disagree with me. Gave up a lot of big plays, and oh my goodness, if anybody gets hurt, woo, boy, we are really thin. Yeah. Got to get depth, got to upgrade. We've talked about this many times before. This is a passing league. If this is a passing league, you need what?
You need corners.
You need corners. And
what, you don't like Rashad Wildgoose?
Not so much. I don't know. Not so much. I think we need to definitely upgrade there. I've been looking over this, looking at some of the free agents, and I tell you, I'm a big fan of Byron Murphy. Byron Murphy, 25 years old, still entering his prime. Love this kid coming out of Washington 4 years ago.
Yep.
Second round pick, high pedigree, good hybrid corner, can play cover or man. 5'10". 109. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. 5'11". Excuse me. 5'11". 190 pounds. Physical corner. Fluid hips. Like I said, up and down rookie year. But again, that's going to happen from time to time with rookies. That's why they're rookies.
Not everybody Sauce Gardner.
Not everybody Sauce Gardner.
Not
even Sauce Gardner is Sauce Gardner.
Sauce Gardner is the exception to the rule.
He's the exception to the rule. Thank you very much. And just to break down some numbers for this young man, just 2 years ago, he had again, through PFF, very well respected.
Yes.
Pro Football Focus. 90.2 grade in single high coverage. That was good enough to be ranked number one in the league. So let me go ahead and reiterate that again. This young man, just 2 years ago, had a 90.2 grade in single high coverage. That was just 2 years ago. Now, this year, he got hurt. He had a back issue. Hey, this is football. This is a violent sport. People get hurt. All the reports I've read, everything I looked at, the guy's healthy now. The Cardinals did not franchise tag him. He is a free agent. This guy would bring depth, athleticism. He would bring some good man skills to this secondary that, quite frankly, is very thin. I like this kid. I think he could do very well for us. And, potentially, if you do this, you could kick in Kendall Fuller to the slot, which he traditionally has done better in the slot.
Yep.
Most people would agree with that.
Yep.
Obviously, if St. Juice can stay healthy, knock on wood, we like what he can do. But again, that's another reason why you potentially could bring in Byron Murphy, because with St. Juice and his injury concerns, his rookie year, obviously, he had the concussion issues. He had the ankles issue this year, missed 5 games off of an ankle. We need a guy that we can count on. We need a guy that's in the prime, that's sort of on an upward trajectory. And this guy, for all accounts, is on that way.
Okay.
Kind of going to break down some numbers, looking over some of the contracts at some of the upper echelon corners that signed the last couple years. Just to throw out a few names, Jair Alexander, Denzel Ward, Jalen Ramsey, Marlon Humphrey, Marshawn Lattimore. These are just a couple of the upper echelon, top-tier corners that have signed big deals over the last year or two. Okay? These guys, and again, this is from Over the Cap. Very well respected, give out good information here.
Yeah.
If you look at the average of some of the top 5 to 7 corners, just like it went over the top average of the left tackle, we're going to go over the corners here. Top 5 to 7 average anywhere between 70 to 100 million in total value. That may seem like a lot. Corners a premium position.
Right.
Got to pay for premium positions.
Yep.
Would you agree?
Yeah, most definitely. You got to. I mean, you said it earlier, and you hit the nail on the head. You have 3 positions that are the premium positions.
Yep.
You have corner.
Yep.
You have left tackle.
Yep.
And you have quarterback.
Yep.
And those 3 you're going to pay, just like an edge rusher. But you're going to pay for those positions.
Got to pay for it. And also, when we're talking about total value, if you break down the average per year that these upper echelon corners are making, it ranges anywhere from 19 to 21 million average per year. That's average per year now.
Okay.
Total guaranteed, okay, I'm talking about the average total guarantee. If you average it it ranges anywhere from 50 to 71 million, okay? So if you kind of go off that average, I'm thinking, and based on what I'm looking at here from these contracts, I could see, him looking at a possible 4-year deal. Let's give him an average value of about 55 to 58 million. And let's average about 18 to 19 million per year.
18 or 19 per year?
Yeah, again, some people are going to listen to this and say, damn, that's a lot of money to pay this young man. This guy's 25 years old, okay? The market dictates that a guy that plays at his level gets top-tier corner money. Whether you want to agree with it or not, this is the market. I'm throwing out numbers to you of the top 5 to 7 corners and what their average is. Based on that, his total value should range anywhere from 57 to 58 million, somewhere in that wheelhouse. And he should be getting anywhere from, let's just say, 18 to 19 million average per year.
Right.
And total guaranteed, I'd say about 60 million.
Wow.
That's what I'm looking at here. Okay. Again, we're in inflation times, man. It's inflation times, man.
So you're guaranteeing most of the contract.
You're
going to get him in here. You're going to go ahead and say, "Yeah, we'll give you this number at like what'd you say, 68 or something like that?"
Yeah, the total value. And I'm sorry, you know what? I might have misspoke there. The total value. I apologize. The total value should be somewhere around 80 million for this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, misspoke there. Good catch there. Good catch there, brother. Yeah, about 80 million total value.
Okay.
And then guarantee him about 58 to 60 million.
Okay, so for 4 years, 80 million.
Yeah, that's
and about a 20 million average value.
Yeah, sounds about
okay.
Right.
Okay.
Based on what I'm looking at here and the numbers from these other players, that's right in the wheelhouse.
Okay, and you think that dude's ready to make that jump?
I think look, he's on a high trajectory. If you look at what he's done the last couple of years, he's played at a high level. He played at an extremely high level in 2021. Had a back issue. The back issue's been resolved. If you read the reports, you look at everything, no lingering effects from that. Doesn't need surgery. The guy's healthy. Let's go in. Let's bring this guy in there. Let's get an upper echelon corner that's on, like I said, an upward trend, not a downward trend.
Okay.
And get some depth and get some top tier talent that can cover these receivers because, again, this is a passing league.
And this is Kendall Fuller's last year of his contract, right?
Wow, aren't you perceptive? It is.
So his contract be coming off the books after this season.
Right.
Okay.
And how nice would it be to have a young corner to sort of flow right in?
That makes me feel a little bit better.
See what GMs and see what front offices need to be doing here.
See, I'm going to be honest with you. That 18 million kind of like stuck in my throat a little bit.
Right.
But seeing that you're sitting there saying basically we're going to trade off Kendall Fuller and him after this season.
After this season.
And I can deal with that as long as you either St. Juice comes through or you draft another young corner to bring along as well.
Because the thing is that you're absolutely right. Fuller will be off the books after this year. Okay? By all accounts, everything that I'm looking at, the league is very high on Byron Murphy. With the contracts that these other corners have signed, $18 million is basically what it is. I think that what his demand is going to get, this being a passing league premium position, It's going to have to be that. And again, with Kendall Fuller coming off the books, that's the key.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this sort of work and flow better.
Right.
In my opinion.
And you look at, we don't know, but the sale hasn't gone through yet.
Yeah, sale's not
as
gone
of
through.
now, this is 10:34 on Tuesday, March 7th.
Yep.
So the sale hasn't gone through. We're hearing that it should go through soon.
Yeah.
Is always the word. So you don't know who wants to come to Washington.
Yeah.
You got most people figure by most accounts that Ron Rivera is kind of a lame duck coach.
Yeah.
That the new owner is going to
possible.
come in, and if he doesn't do it right away, which depending on how long this takes, he probably wouldn't be advised to do it this way.
Mm-hmm.
If Ron Rivera doesn't show out this year, that he's going to be gone.
Yeah.
So you may have to overpay higher than what other people would to get them to come to DC.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of the world we're living in right now.
I mean, I just threw out to you the top 7 corners, and every one of them is averaging over $18 million per year.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
So now again, if a couple of them were around 15, 16, maybe you could try to be a little bit more frugal with it. Right. But again, every one of those top 5 to 7 I just mentioned, their average per year is over $18 million.
Right. And like we said on the other one, a lot of things going to be is the guaranteed, full guaranteed
and that's
money.
always the big thing with NFL contracts.
That's what it's going to be because we always talk about it's funny money.
It's funny money.
They have funny money with these contracts because they're not like these other leagues and they don't do guaranteed. Well, most of the time, unless you're Deshaun Watson or Kirk Cousins,
right.
You don't get fully guaranteed contracts.
Nah.
So the big money is in the fully guaranteed. So if you're willing, just like I said with Sheriff, the thing that probably got Jacksonville him is the fully guaranteed money, that $30 million of that $49.5, and then tacking on those voidable years where this guy's gone, and 1 year you pay almost $2 million, next year you pay almost $2 million. In the grand scheme of things, with the way the salary cap is now, $2 million is nothing.
Oh no!
So you tack that on as voidable years, you can get a lot of stuff worked out.
Oh, most definitely. And again, to reiterate, because I did misspeak a few minutes ago. Again, total value of the 5 to 7 top corners ranges between 80 to 100 million. Okay, that's the average between the top 7.
Okay.
I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
The total guarantee ranges anywhere from 55 to 71 million.
Okay.
So if we guaranteed him in the upper 50 million range,
right, and
gave a total value about 80, that falls in that wheelhouse of not the top 2 or 3, but sort of the average of the top 6 or 7.
Right.
You know, if you break it down.
Yeah, I mean
numbers don't lie.
Yeah, and that would be something. We obviously need corner help.
Yeah.
So that's excellent to go ahead and bring that up there, and I'm gonna roll with you.
Hey, like style.
All right, so here we go. So now my second free agent that I'm looking at. Okay. I feel like this is a position that we can address in free agency that would be an upgrade, and it would benefit us with the athleticism that this individual has.
Okay.
All right, I'm looking at linebacker, and the guy I'm looking at is 6'3", 250 pounds, 26 years old, third round pick in 2019 from NC State. He's part of the pack, Wolf Pack.
Love it.
Jermaine Pratt.
Love it.
From the Bengals.
There you go.
My man is athletic. He is fast. He is somebody that specializes in coverage.
Okay.
And with us running that Buffalo nickel, where we have 3 safeties, or we have a linebacker that kind of plays the safety, with Jamin Davis in there, and then you add Jermaine Pratt there, they're going to be hard-pressed to have any tight ends and any running backs to really do much running on us whatsoever. I mean, much catching the ball on us whatsoever. All of them are good. You got the running backs that can come out of the backfield. They kill us a lot of times, but Jamin Davis locked that down last year.
Yeah.
He. If you watch the end of the year against Barkley, you watch the end of the year against Tony Pollard, he locked them down. So this is another man in that same ilk that can go ahead and come in here and go ahead and provide that athleticism that we need.
Yeah, most definitely.
Because what we have, Cole Holcomb, fear the mullet. I get that. I mean, he doesn't.
He is what he is.
He is what he is. He doesn't excite me.
No.
He is athletic.
Yeah.
I do find him out of position a whole bunch of times.
Yes.
And Jermaine Pratt just wasn't that dude. He's somebody that graded out well. PFF had him graded at 80.6 overall. So he's somebody that can
very respectable.
Yeah, most definitely. He's somebody that'll come right in, and he would be able to solidify that linebacker core. We can go ahead and elevate Khalid Hudson to the 3 behind both of them. Even though, because we can't say middle linebacker, outside linebacker. It's really not what we do now.
Not with our defense in that Buffalo nickel hybrid. Yeah, you don't really have it in that format. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
So what we do is we go ahead and bring in another athletic freak, and we go ahead and let him do what he needs to do and get on the field and shut down these passing games from all these other teams.
Yeah, because I tell you, over the years, if you're a Washington Commander fan or Redskin fan before they were the Commanders, we saw how we consistently struggle covering running backs and tight ends. It's been like that for years. I think this would be a very smart, practical move. Bring in a young linebacker, again, upper trajectory on his upward going into his prime. Athletic, can cover so that running backs and tight ends can't have field days against us.
Yeah, most definitely. And I'm going to read a part from PFF. We love PFF.
We do, yep.
They have a lot of good stuff. So Pratt had a 90.1 coverage grade. It was the best mark in the NFL.
Wow, the best?
The best.
Which means nobody was better.
Nobody was better.
Wow.
Him in coverage. He missed just 2 tackles in coverage and allowed only 4 explosive receptions. He didn't miss many tackles as a run defender either. He was missing on just 5.9% of his opportunities, and that's after 3 straight seasons above 10%. So he tightened up his tackling.
Nice.
Did better angles, got better pursuit angles. He's tightening it up. Last but certainly not least, they write, Pratt also peaked at the right time with his 90.1 overall grade since week 8, the top among linebackers.
Wow.
So from week 8, Pro Football Focus, PFF, graded him the top overall linebacker.
Wow.
Okay?
That's not too shabby.
And this isn't a guy that a whole bunch of people are talking about.
They're not. He's kind of going under the radar.
He's kind of going under the radar.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's probably not going to re-sign him because they got Logan Wilson coming up for a contract.
Yep.
They're letting Jesse Bates and Von Bell test free agency. They're going to have a lot of work to do to get pieces in there. I think if you jump on the phone quick with him, I think I'm looking at average value and everything. What I'm looking at, my comp for him is a Matt Milano type. Okay. Matt Milano, Buffalo Bills, specializes in pass coverage. That's what he's there for. He occasionally blitzes, just like Pratt does, but he's known to be able to cover your cover your tight ends and your running backs out of the backfield. In 2021, Matt Milano signed a 4-year deal, $41.5 million with $20 million guaranteed.
Okay.
That's 2021. So taking a little bit of inflation involved, I'm looking at a 4-year, $50 million contract with $25 million fully guaranteed and a 12.5 average value.
Sounds about right.
So it'd be close. I mean, granted, that was 2021. This is 2023. Maybe a little bit lower. And like I said, maybe there are some teams that are really high on him, like I am. But the good thing about him is he's a linebacker. He's not necessarily he's not a middle linebacker, and he's not a rush linebacker. So he's an off the ball linebacker that specializes in pass coverage, and those dudes just usually don't get paid a whole bunch of money.
Right. That's a good point.
And I think you put him and Jamin Davis in that defensive lineup at the same time, your athleticism has gone through the charts.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you got it. And look, let's be honest, man. In this day and age, man, every running back is athletic now. Almost every tight end is athletic. You need athletic cover guys that can negate that.
Right.
And this guy fits in that wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
And again, 26 years old.
Prime of his career.
Prime of his career. He's looking for his first big contract. And like I said, if Milano, who was highly coveted, I remember when he became a free agent, I wanted to get him.
Yeah. I remember that.
So he ended up getting that. And again, you could use the voidable years to go up a little bit.
Yep.
Make it a 6-year deal, actual 4-year, and then add in a little bit more signing bonus to get it done. Because at the end of the day, the fully guaranteed money is what's going to float the boat. That's going to be what they're looking for. So I think you put him in there. We don't have to see John Bostic out there ever again.
No.
David Mayo should only see the field
On special teams.
On special teams.
No disrespect to any of these gentlemen.
Yeah.
I respect them as NFL players, but the bottom line is that you got to upgrade that position, and that is what it is.
Yeah, and they're the perfect linebackers for the 80s.
Yeah.
Not for 2023.
No.
So we upgrade the speed and athleticism of these guys. You can blitz them. You can go ahead and have them cover. They're good against the run as well. Not great, but good. But 6'3", 250 is not a small dude.
No.
So Pratt has the size.
He can hold up.
Yeah, he can hold up. I think, we want to get Jamin Davis up to that weight. If we could get him up to 250, that would probably be good if he could keep his speed.
Yeah.
But he's going to be your hammer in the secondary. So I like him to go ahead and get on board and upgrade that defense.
I think it's very important. And I tell you, over the last 15, 20 minutes, we've been breaking down a couple players here. And notice how they're all positions of need. These players they all play a different position. And they're areas that would upgrade the team. These players are young, which means they're on the upward part. They're kind of into their prime. And this is very important. Again, you can't just build through the draft. You can't just build through free agency. You have to sprinkle in a little bit here, a little bit there. And that's what me and my cousin are talking about right now. We're talking about players that could definitely upgrade the team significantly of areas of need to help us be more competitive and really make a run at this and kind of get out of this stuck in the middle, always winning 7 games, just fighting to be respectable. No more of that.
There you go. All right. Now, with that being said, that's going to wrap up our free agent talk. We are going to hit on one more subject today because it did come down today.
And unless you live somewhere that you don't have power or electricity or anything, I'm sure you've seen it.
So Lamar Jackson was given the non-exclusive franchise tender, and it is now open season.
Open season.
So teams can offer him a contract, and he can go sign that contract, and the Ravens have the right to match it, or they get 2 first-round picks.
In the history of watching football in off seasons, can you ever remember a player of his level at that position that's just available for anybody to get an offer sheet to? Can you ever remember it?
I'm 51, and since I've been watching football since 81, I've never heard of it.
I've never seen anything like this. This is going to be the talk of the sports world for the next week or two. I'm sure you would think something would get done pretty quickly with free agency starting in about a week. Bottom line is this. This is unbelievable. The Ravens are known to be very savvy, very great organization. There are a couple of ways you can look at this. And you can look at it where Baltimore is just outthinking themselves. And maybe they feel like, you know what? Nobody's going to really offer him a deal that we can't match. Or better yet, nobody's going to offer him a fully guaranteed contract. And you know what? Baltimore may be right. But guess what? Baltimore may be wrong. Because let me tell you something. I don't think anybody thought that when the whole Deshaun Watson drama ended, when he finally went to the team that he eventually went to, that he would have signed a fully guaranteed $230 million contract when he just signed a mega contract with the Texans 2 years prior. And oh, by the way, nobody, and I mean nobody, was reporting or talking about him going to Cleveland, and he went to a place that no one even thought of. So the point of my story, the reason why I'm bringing this up, is because Baltimore is somewhat gambling. Now, again, it may work out okay for Baltimore. Baltimore may get significant compensation. They may be able to draft one of the upper tier quarterbacks in this year's draft, possibly. Or they could just say, you know what, whatever a team signs them to, we'll just match it, and it's all good. But again, it is a gamble, but it is a calculated gamble. Yeah. It is a calculated gamble. Yeah. I think it is ridiculous that teams have already supposedly posted stuff about how they're not going to go after this guy. Let me tell you something. The quarterbacks that signed deals last year with these mega contracts and this guaranteed money, I would take Lamar Jackson over them every day of the week and twice on Sunday. I'm sorry. Bottom line.
Yeah.
And this guy has done nothing but be the consummate pro. This guy is self-made. This guy came into the league. Most people thought that he would not be a good NFL player because he was not a pure passer. All he's done in his 5 years is get better. Now, granted, the last 2 years he's missed some games with injury. Hey, that's going to happen. It's a violent sport. calls for some concern, but they weren't major injuries. It's not like he tore something. It's not like he had serious issues where you have to worry about his longevity. This guy has been the model citizen. He has put Baltimore relevant again. And just a quick stat for you, when Baltimore has him as the starting quarterback over the last couple of years, they average 28 points a game. That's one of the top points per game in the league. When he is not the starting quarterback for the Ravens, they average 18 points a game. Not to mention the fact that this guy was an MVP 3 years ago, Yeah. This guy is elite. This guy can lead you to the promised land. And I'm sorry, but whatever's going on with what people are putting out, it could be misinformation. Things happen. The bottom line is that if you are a quarterback needy team, you should be right now on the phone with Lamar Jackson. And notice how I said Lamar Jackson and not his agent, because he doesn't have an agent. This guy is his own agent. Yep. This guy is his own agent. So if you want a quarterback, well, let's be honest. Quarterback is the most popular and most difficult position in all of team sports. Nobody's going to argue that. Yeah. This guy is 26 years old. He's one of the top 5 to 7 quarterbacks in the league. He's a playmaker. And you mean to tell me that the teams in this league that need a quarterback wouldn't be clamoring to get him? Are you kidding me right now? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Like I said, this is fascinating to me. I can't wait to see how this plays out, and I can't wait to see where he goes.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is unprecedented that this would happen. Mm-hmm. I think everybody saw the writing on the wall that they were going to use the non-exclusive franchise tag, but they had to actually get to the point where they were going to do it. Mm-hmm. So now that that's done, I think that it's open season. Like I said, it's open season. So, and I'm in agreement with you that I think it's crazy that teams are sitting there saying we're not going to try to go after him.
Yeah, what are you talking about? I mean, this guy is elite. I mean, franchise quarterbacks do not grow on trees. They are hard to find. You don't find them every day. And believe me, we know. We've been looking for a franchise quarterback for 30 years. Some teams look for them and never find them. Look at the New York Jets. The New York Jets have drafted 2 quarterbacks over the last 5 years in the top 3. Yeah. Think about that. Put that in perspective. When is the last time you have ever heard of a football team invest 2 top 3 overall picks within a 5-year window? Both of them didn't pan out.
And you could always say, as much as it hurts to be a Commanders fan, think about that.
Yeah, let that sink in.
They were high enough to draft Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson. Yep. And it looks like they're going to miss on both of them. And now they're trying to trade for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Which is going to cost more draft capital.
My God, I mean, this guy immediately makes your team elite. And I'm sorry. You should be... If you are a GM of a team that needs a quarterback, you should be doing everything in your power to make this happen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm going to say this, that I think when I first heard it, my initial reaction was absolutely not.
Yeah.
And then kind of what swayed me was a tweet from Barstool Nate.
Barstool Nate. Love Barstool Nate. Great stuff.
Great stuff out there. And I just follow him so I don't get any kickback for this. Yeah. But we love his tweets, everything that he kind of thinks along our lines, our same thought process. And he said, basically, just to sum up the tweet, was we've been doing this for 30 years, trying to, see what we can do better next year, this, that, and the other. It says, why not swing for the fences? And when I read that to D, we kind of looked at each other.
And we couldn't find a good reason to not swing for the fences.
Yeah. I mean, because, like I said, I'm 51. D's 46. We've lived through the years of the heyday, what we would consider our heyday, back in the 80s.
When we were just young kids.
Yeah, seen the Super Bowls, seen the dominance that we had. If you weren't lucky enough to see that, any opportunity you get to go back and see any of those games, watch them. Yeah. Because Joe Gibbs led team at that time, not Gibbs 2.0, but at that time, it was just a thing of beauty.
It was a beautiful thing to watch.
So, obviously, if we weren't the team of the decade, which we weren't voted team of the decade, it was the 49ers, but I think we would be
right there
behind them.
Right there with them.
So, we need a franchise quarterback.
Yep.
We have been trying to build and build and build, and at some point, you got to sit there and say, what are we building for? Yep. Okay, yeah, I understand the money aspect of it. And I'm not too entirely sure that we'd be able to pull it off with this front office that we have, quite honestly.
Yeah. That's a good
but
point.
if there was a way to get Lamar Jackson for 2 first-round picks and upgrade the line, whether it be through free agency and the draft, he makes you not only an immediate playoff team, not contender, playoff team, and that makes you a contender to get to the NFC Championship game.
How many elite quarterbacks are in the NFC? They're all in the AFC.
They're all in the AFC.
Yeah, think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge. And then you're taking an elite quarterback from the AFC and putting him on the NFC.
And if you consider Aaron Rodgers still elite, he's getting ready to leave the NFC.
Yeah, for all accounts.
And go to the AFC.
Right.
It seems like.
I mean, this is a quarterback-driven league. This is not the days of quarterback can throw 16 to 18 touchdowns, run the ball, play good defense. Yes, you got to have good defense, but again, quarterbacks are they're the focal point. That's what it's all about. I mean, the 2 quarterbacks were in the Super Bowl this past year. 2 quarterbacks that were MVP candidates, and one of them was the MVP.
Right.
Okay? Point being, Lamar Jackson would be such an upgrade for us. The bottom line is that I listen to the Grant and Danny show all the time. I love Grant Paulson, love Danny Rouillet. Grant says it all the time. You have to attack the offseason. You have to be aggressive. You have to go after players. Be aggressive. Get better. That's the only way it's going to happen. You can't wait for something to come to you. Go get it. The Miami Dolphins, they drafted Jalen Waddle 6th overall a couple years ago. You thought, oh, they're good enough. No, what do? They get crazy and give up 5 draft picks for Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill last year was an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
The guy was amazing. Yes, the Miami Dolphins didn't win the Super Bowl last year, but how much better were the Miami Dolphins having both of those receivers? The point I'm trying to make is you got to be aggressive. Like my cousin said, swing for the fences. If you don't get him, you don't get him. But do everything you can to bring this man in. Have him drive 30 miles south from Baltimore to D.C. He'll still be in the area, man. He ain't going nowhere. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you don't try, you don't know.
Nope.
So while it seems outlandish to sit there and say, why Washington?
Yeah.
But like Eric Bieniemy said, why not Washington?
Why not Washington?
You put Lamar Jackson with Scary Terry, with Jahan Dotson, with Curtis Samuel.
Oh, yeah.
You upgrade that line so he's not running for his life. He's only running when he wants to.
Yep.
I mean, that is a scary offense. And you throw in B-Rob and you throw in AG.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a potent offense that can battle with all the teams. Yep. And not only that, but definitely the teams in the NFC. Because like D said, there's not that many franchise quarterbacks in the NFC.
Yeah. I mean, look. Bottom line is this. About 2 weeks ago, they were showing some numbers on overall points per game and overall yards per game over the last 6 or 7 years. The Washington Commanders were, I believe it was either 26th or 27th in the league over the last 6 or 7 years. I don't care if you have the 85 Bears. You are not, and for those of you who don't know, the Chicago Bears, the 85 Bears, one of the greatest defenses of all time. That's why I said 85 Bears. Yeah. You need an offense to win in this league. And that's the point. And when you see numbers like that, when you see that Washington was in the bottom echelon of points per game, you need points to score in this league.
Yep.
And I just said a few minutes ago, Lamar Jackson with Baltimore, when he starts, they average 28 points a game.
Yep.
Enough said.
Yep.
I've made my piece.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and end it right there. I think
good session, my brother.
Yeah, I think we went through a lot.
Yeah.
And the Lamar Jackson thing, as always, if you have any feedback on it, we'd love to hear from you. But we definitely, put our opinions out there, and we like to defend them just as much as we love to put them out there.
Oh, yeah.
So thank everybody for listening, and we'll catch you all on the next one.
All right, holla.